Having a relationship between a player and a coach, I think, is the most important thing you can have.
We call ourselves a family. There's a tradition of family with our team. And our head coach is literally the father of our team, and we look to him as, our role model.
I think alcohol and drug abuse is something that needs to be on coaches' plates because it matters.
If we accept the idea that our coaches are our leaders, and if we respect them in the model of them being teacher coaches, I think then that we can conclude that their role in terms of alcohol and other drug education and prevention should be a primary role. After all, our coaches are either selecting or recruiting the student athletes in the programs. They are, as a result, setting the tone, establishing the rules and the expectations. So they definitely should be the people that we look to in terms of helping to develop and then implement the strategies to avoid the bad behaviors that could result from alcohol and drug abuse on our campuses.
I've seen it happen with teammates in the past from high school, just as talented or maybe even more talented than I am, and get into drinking a lot, which led to smoking and other things, and it's just not a path I want to go. I mean, football doesn't last forever, and I want to make the best of the opportunity I have now, and all those are sidetracks that really affect your playing ability on the field and what you're capable of doing on the daily basis on the practice field, and I don't want that to be the reason why I don't reach my dreams.
Alcohol and other drug issues among student athletes is something that's critical for coaches to address and to be aware of, because it has an impact in their performance, both their performance athletically and their performance off the field. And if you've spent all this time recruiting a student, all the time you spend coaching, working with your athletes for conditioning, I mean, you don't want to erase all of that effort. You've brought the student in, we want them to stay, we want them to succeed and do their best. And we know that one of the biggest reasons that athletes may not be doing well is because of alcohol abuse.
Coaches have a million things on their plate, not only just office work, but just as a collegiate coach, being able to help the student athlete become a better person in the world once they leave college. I think for myself, it's very important to be able to talk about alcohol and drug prevention in athletics. On a personal level, as a coach, I feel that I'm a mentor to my student athletes and I want the best for them. And a lot of them are far away from home. They're out-of-state athletes and they see me more than they see their parents, and they feel comfortable confiding in me, and it's my responsibility as a coach to make sure they understand the dangers of drugs and alcohol.
We only have one rule, just one, and it's do the right thing. And day in, day out, coach preaches that, and it really goes to anything you can possibly do with your life. When you're making a decision, do the right thing. You know what the right thing is. You tell yourself every day what the right thing is in your head. You just have to do it.
My expectations with the relationship with my coaches, I'm kind of want my coaches to not really be my best friend. I want them to be an educator, a mentor, somebody to look up to, and somebody to set me in the right path as far as where I want to go first as a young man, and then as an athlete, and also as a student as well.
The really good coaches that are walking the walk and talking the talk. So those are the ones that the athletes are going to follow. They're going to get the best out of their players because they respect them. You might do something out of fear for a coach, but we all see these examples of these great coaches, and they really get the best out of their players because the players don't want to disappoint the coach because they value and they respect them so much.
I think a coach's behavior has a really big effect on their athletes as well, because student athletes look up to their coaches and they follow what they do, and they serve as role models. And because they're a role model, we kind of evaluate them.
Sometimes I think the greatest moments of human character shines in the athletic world. And I think as a coach, you can foster that. And isn't that a neat place to be in?
That the most important part of our job is the student athlete. Just hands down, it's the student athlete. They are why we wake up every morning and do what we need to do, because we have their best well-being in mind. Somehow I've found the balance, letting them know up front that on the court I'm your coach, off the court I'm your mentor, and I'm here whenever you need me.
Coach is a really good friend, a mentor, someone I can go to for a problem, someone I could just go to talk if I need to talk. They're just there for anything I need to talk to. Like, they're always there.
I think many times coaches, because of how busy they are in their daily routine, underestimate the influence that they have over their student athletes and the impact that they have in terms of the maturity and the development of the students, not only as it relates to the sport, but their personal development as well. One of the great things about athletics, regardless of if it's at the high school level, the college level, or the professional level, and the thing that is distinctive about athletics is that we're in the relationship building business. The most special of those relationships are the relationships that coaches have with their players. It goes beyond what happens every day in practice. It goes beyond the final scores and the final records and the championships won. And I think it's more the influence that a coach has in the lives and the development of the young people that participate for our coaches. This is extremely important.
It takes a great coach to understand that every role is important because it contributes in some way to the overall success of your team. So you have to find ways to validate those roles and make that person feel like they are contributing in an important and valuable way.
Each student on his team is a different genetic snowflake. Students come with different baggage and different biological risks. So I think one thing you want to do is look at a student and assess that not all of them are the same. So if a coach could get to know their background, and then what motivates each student is different. So you can have the same policy apply to your team, but what motivates a student to change, to not break the policy and stay on the team, is going to be different. And the only way you can find out what's really important to a young person is to listen to them about what their goals and their dreams and their hopes are.